Welcome to Fix It Home Improvement, covering projects that every homeowner should know and great products for home and garden.
Hi, I'm JC, and this is where we share weekly home improvement tips. I'm here with my co-host, Cindy.
Hello, JC.
Hi, Cindy. This week we're going to be talking about pellet grills, and we'd like to thank Craig Wang for liking and sharing the podcast. On Thursday, July 22nd to Monday, July 26th, you'll be able to download a free copy of our new book, Book 14, on Amazon. And it's going to be called Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, Book 14.
Well, they could download it now and pay $1. I like that idea better.
The ancient Egyptians had wood-fired ovens around 5,000 years ago to make bread. The ancient Romans spread the technology for building wood-fired...
Why would you say bread? Wouldn't they make other things in there too?
No, they were really into bread.
Yeah, just all carbs.
So the ancient Romans spread this technology around Europe.
And what did they make in it?
They made pizza. And in the 1400s, they were renting these out to villages for baking and cooking, and fees were collected by the lord of the land. The Traeger family owned a heating company and started experimenting with pellet-burning stoves. After burning a chicken in a grill, Joe Traeger developed one of the first pellet grills in 1985. And they're still a top-rated company today.
Cool.
Pellet grills look similar to a gas grill, but with a hopper on the side or the back to hold wood pellets.
You haven't said hopper like that. I say it like you've said
Hopper.
it all week.
Some commercials are really catchy.
What was the company name?
I don't know.
But they had a kangaroo and they said hopper all the time, right?
They did
no
not,
idea what satellite company was.
Yeah, did not do a good job of branding.
Yeah.
Pellet grills need to be plugged in to operate, and not all pellet grills work the same way, but in general, you're going to fill the hopper with wood pellets, you're going to turn on the grill to the temperature you want, there's an auger that's slowly going to move pellets to a fire pot, or it's called a burn pot. The wood is lit by an igniter, and there's a fan that's drawing in air that passes through openings in that fire pot for combustion, and then it distributes the heat and smoke around the cooking chamber for even cooking temperatures. There's a control panel that's operating the auger and the fan, and most grills are going to have a heat deflector over the fire pot. Then above that, you're going to have an angled grease drip pan that drains the grease and the liquids to a pot that's usually outside the grill on the side. This indirect heat and the fan is going to work like a convection oven, so it's going to cook food evenly and fast, even if you have 2 or 3 cooking grates at different heights. A pellet grill lets you cook anything you'd make in a traditional oven or a grill, plus you can add smoke flavor to your food.
Exciting.
The temperature controls are connected to a temperature probe that's inside the grill, and it adjusts the flow of the pellets and the fan to control the temperature. Multi-position controllers will have a knob with preset temperatures on it. One that I looked at had smoke, 180, 225, 250, 275, 300, 325, 350, 375, and high. Most pellet grills will go up to 450 to 550 degrees Fahrenheit.
Shouldn't there be 200 in there?
Did I miss 200?
Well, you said 180 to 225. I was actually paying attention. Sorry.
Yeah, on the grill I looked at, these were the temperatures. So
you didn't write it down wrong?
No, I'm very precise with my research. And some grills will go higher than this. So these are, pretty big jumps, 25-degree jumps. But then you also have one-touch button controllers with LCD screens that are going to give you more control. Some will allow you to adjust the temperature in 5 to 10-degree increments. And then the top of the line are PID controllers. These have electronics that can adjust the pellet rate and the fan speed to keep the cooking temperatures very consistent. They say in normal conditions, they'll usually be able to keep the temperature within 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
What is PID?
Proportional Integral Derivative.
Huh?
Computer language.
All right.
For your pellet grill, you only want to use food-grade hardwood pellets. You don't want to use pellets for a wood stove.
Why not?
They could be using wood from pine or spruce for a wood stove.
And you wouldn't want Christmas tree flavored meat. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it could ruin the flavor of your food. Or they could be using wood from plywood or particle board that has glues or other chemicals in it. The pellets for a grill are hardwood that's dried and ground into sawdust, and then it's heat compressed into small pellets. They're going to burn easy, and they only leave about 1% ash. If you're cooking at higher temperatures, the smoke flavor is going to be very mild. If you cook at a lower temperature over a longer period of time, you're going to get more flavor from the smoke.
Okay.
I spoke to Pit Boss. They're at pitbossgrills.com, and that's pitboss-grills.com. They said study the types of wood you can grill with and try different blends, and they have a wide selection of hardwood pellets. Pit Boss recommends apple or cherry for a sweet flavor, mesquite or hickory for a more intense smoky flavor. Their pellets are 100% all-natural hardwood. They have no artificial oils or sprays to enhance the flavor.
Cool.
Masterclass.com says beef smokes well with all wood except apple. Chicken tastes great with any wood except oak or maple. Fish is best with alder, oak, or mesquite. Pork is good with every wood except mesquite and oak. And vegetables taste best with hickory, pecan, or maple.
Okie dokie.
I spoke to Pits and Spits, and they're
that sounds fun.
pittsandspitts.com. And they recommended pellets from Smoke Ring Barbecue, Barbecuer's Delight, and that's just BBQR''S, Lumberjack Grilling, and Bear Mountain Barbecue.
Bear, like the animal?
Yeah, BEAR. Grills are going to differ in how fast they burn pellets, but in general, for every hour at a low temperature, you're going to burn about 2 pounds of pellets and about 4 pounds of pellets at a high temperature. Pellet grills are unique in the way they cook and their versatility. Some pellet grills say they're 4-in-1 grills, letting you grill, smoke, bake, and roast. Some are called 8-in-1 grills, allowing you to grill, bake, roast, sear, braise, barbecue, char grill, and smoke. I spoke to Camp Chef, and they're at campchef.com. That's CAMPCHEF.com. They said you can use a pellet grill like a wood-fired oven. Not only can you smoke meats slowly at low temperatures, you can bake bread, make pizza, or cook a turkey and all the side dishes.
Wow.
And they have quite a few recipes on their website. Because a pellet grill has a heat deflector over the fire pot, you're not going to burn your food like you can with a direct flame or have flare-ups. The disadvantage for some pellet grills is not being able to sear meats or cook at higher temperatures like a charcoal grill can. If you want to be able to sear meat or cook over a direct flame, look for models that say 8-in-1 or have a sear or direct flame option. Some grills have a direct flame cover, so you'd remove the heat deflector and replace it with this cover. It has openings so the flames can be exposed from the fire pot.
All right.
Some grills have a grease drip tray that has openings angled, so the grease isn't going to pass through it, but it allows the heat from the fire pot to directly heat your food. So now you can sear or you can cook at higher temperatures. And some grills have a heat deflector that can be slid away from the fire pot for direct heat. So you would sear your meat and then you would slide it back over the fire pot for regular convection heating.
Okay.
One model I looked at that allowed you to move that heat deflector said the indirect heat can be adjusted from 180 to 450 degrees Fahrenheit for convection heating, and then when you move that heat deflector, up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit for direct heat over the fire pot.
Hot.
Look for direct flame or searing options when you're comparing features. Some models allow you to lower the main cooking grate just above the grease drip tray for higher temperatures. I spoke to Green Mountain Grills. They're at greenmountaingrills.com. That's GreenMountaingrills.com. And they gave us some cooking tips. They said focus on the internal temperature of your meat rather than recipe timing.
Okay.
So get a good thermometer. You're going to get more smoke at lower temperatures around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can smoke low and slow and then crank up the temperature to around 550 degrees Fahrenheit to add a sear for more flavor. And they call this reverse searing. You can put cold meat with a dry rub into the pellet grill at a low setting, and that's going to give you a smokier flavor because it's going to take a little longer to cook.
Right.
They say upper racks are a good accessory for cooking a brisket, and putting a water pan under the rack creates an ideal cooking environment. Green Mountain Grills has a pizza attachment with a dome that sets over the firebox, and this creates a baking chamber with high temperatures, they say around 800 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yowza.
So you can cook pizzas and sear steaks. You can also use this at lower temperatures to bake bread. They say anything you can do in an oven, you can do in a pellet grill.
Exciting.
They also said when you're shopping and comparing models, check the temperature range. Low temperatures are important for smoking. And check the company's service reputation. Pellet grills are full of moving parts,
right? So
you want a company that's going to provide good customer service. Pit Boss has some tips when comparing models. What is the hopper size? It's going to dictate how long you can cook before you have to add more pellets, especially if you plan on smoking meats at low temperatures over a long time period. Compare the square inches of the cooking grates. You want enough space to cook for your family and for parties if you have extra people over. They say 700 to 800 square inches is good for a family of 4. And consider Wi-Fi controllers that let you check the grill temperature and the internal temperature of your meat if your grill has a temperature probe for food.
Cool.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
So it's like set it and forget it?
Yeah. RecTech gave us some tips, and they're at recteq.com. It's RecTeq.com. They say for the best temperature control, get a PID temperature controller. When you're looking at the cooking area, compare the main grilling surface and the auxiliary grates. Some companies only list the main grate, and some companies add in all the secondary grates. So make sure you're comparing apples to apples.
Right.
Compare the construction and the materials. Stainless steel parts are going to be very durable. And compare the warranties. They have a 30-day, no-question, money-back guarantee for their online orders.
Cool.
And compare the features. One of the weak parts of a pellet grill is the igniter. And many igniters made out of steel corrode and need to be replaced sooner than ceramic igniters. The ceramic igniters that they use are rated at 100,000 heating cycles. When I spoke to Pitts and Spitz, they also recommended PID controllers. They said most pellet grills with a PID controller will maintain the temperature better than a home oven. Wild, huh?
Yes.
They recommend comparing the materials. Heavy gauge materials are going to last much longer and give better performance for the cost. Maintenance is important for performance and longevity. They suggest cleaning the ash from the burn pot after every use when the grill is cold, and you're going to get the best performance. They suggest using an ash vacuum. They have special filters to trap the fine ash particles, or they use a HEPA filter.
Right.
Some other things to think about. How easy is it going to move on the surface that it's on? So compare the wheels.
Because it has to be plugged in.
Right. So
but you still need to pull it away from your house so you don't melt your siding.
Right, exactly. Also, when you're looking at the cooking grates, what's the thickness and the material? Heavy-duty porcelain-coated cast iron is going to hold heat very well. Thick stainless steel is going to be durable. Does it have side shelves or meat probes? Pellet grills are either going to have a chimney or no chimney with either an air vent or vent holes. If you're in a windy area, the large oblong holes can actually cool off your grill and allow in rain, dirt, and debris.
Right.
So that's something to compare.
And a chimney looks cool.
I read a few manuals. One manual suggests...
Well, this should be exciting.
One manual suggests keeping your pellet grill 12 inches from combustible surfaces. Do not use a pellet grill inside or in enclosed areas or under a combustible overhang. They say carbon monoxide is potentially deadly if it's allowed to build up. Wood pellets are highly susceptible to moisture and should be stored in airtight containers.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not using your grill for extended periods, clear all the pellets from the hopper to prevent jams. Moisture or high humidity can cause pellets to expand and decompose, and this could potentially cause a jam.
Right.
In cold weather, you may have to increase the temperature if you're smoking at low temperatures. And in cold weather, preheating your grill will help with the cook times.
Mm-hmm.
In hot temperatures, reduce your cooking time. Use a meat thermometer to check the internal temperature of your meats.
Okay.
Before you use the grill for the first time, turn it on to 350 degrees and leave it on for 40 minutes, and then allow it to cool. They say clean the grill interior after every 5 uses, clean the fire pot every 2 uses, clean the grease bucket and grates after every use, let the auger run to push out the dust after every bag of pellets, dust and wipe down the interior and the fan blades routinely, clean the air intake after 5 uses, and clean the temperature probe after every 2 uses. Another manual I read said keep the grill 18 inches from combustible surfaces, and to season your grill before the first use, fill it with pellets, and only use hardwood pellets made for grills. Never use heating fuel pellets. Turn it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes, then turn it up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, then turn it off and allow it to cool. When wood pellets are burned, creosote and grease slowly accumulates on the exhaust vent lining, which could ignite, creating an extremely hot fire.
That's bad.
They say use tray liners or aluminum foil on the drip tray to keep the grill cleaner and reduce the risk of a flare-up.
Mm-hmm.
And the exhaust should be inspected and cleaned at least twice a year.
Inspected by who?
By the owner. You? Yes. Periodically clean the grease from the grease drip tray, the grease chute, and the grease pan. Clean the inside and around the fire pot every 20 hours of use, and use a dedicated vacuum. And they recommended a fireplace ash vacuum.
So do you need like a pellet grill journal
Yes.
to keep track of all the uses and the amount of time?
For every appliance. Another manual I read said keep the grill 36 inches from combustible surfaces.
So wait, there's 12, 18, and now 36?
Yeah, so read your manual. They say before using your grill the first time, wash and rinse the cooking grates, replace them, and then turn on the grill to 450 degrees for 45 minutes, and then turn it off and allow it to cool. They say never put anything flammable in the storage area under the grill, and always cook with the lid closed for even temperatures, faster cooking, and less pellet use. They say an open lid could result in increased pellet feed, which could cause the pot to overfill.
Huh.
Yeah, that's interesting. Frequently check the air holes in the burn pot for blockages or a buildup of debris. Frequently check the air holes in the igniter tube and clean off any debris. Wipe down the temperature sensor with water and mild detergent routinely. Wipe down the grill interior routinely. Clean the burn pot after every use for the best performance. Vacuum the interior and the pellet hopper routinely.
Mm-hmm.
When I spoke to a couple of the companies, they recommended covering your grill between uses, especially if it's going to be rainy or snowy, and you want to make sure it's cool before you put a cover on it,
Right.
And get a quality cover. One company suggested if you're in a cold climate and you get a lot of snow and you're not using your grill often during winter, that the best place to put it would be in a shed. for the off-season.
Yeah.
When you're using an appliance outside, like a grill, the outlet should be protected by a GFCI, or the receptacle should be a GFCI.
Mm-hmm.
They say some pellet grills will trip sensitive or older GFCIs on the startup.
Really?
Because the igniter can pull 200 to 700 watts.
Mm-hmm.
So they say if your GFCI is tripping, if you have an old igniter, you should just go ahead and replace it. Or if you have an old GFCI, replace it.
Good to know.
Some top-rated pellet grills come from Green Mountain Grills, Camp Chef, Pits and Spits, Pit Boss, RecTech, Memphis, MEMPHIS, Traeger, TRAEGER, Z Grills, it's just the letter Z, GRILLS, Oklahoma Joe, and Weber.
Do you have anything else to add?
A pellet grill is very versatile. It gives you a lot of control over the temperature you're using, and you don't have to watch your food as closely because you're using indirect heat.
I think it's probably easier to learn on, right? Compared to like a gas grill or a charcoal grill?
Right, because you don't have the open flame like a gas grill or the high temperatures with a charcoal grill.
Have you ever used a pellet grill?
No, never.
Me neither. Like, I was terrified the first time I used a gas grill. Well, my mom wanted me to cook for, like, Mother's Day, and the whole family was over. So she spent all this money on, burgers and sausage and hot dogs.
Ah, right, true.
And I'm the one cooking, so
you don't want to ruin all the food.
Exactly. There was a lot of pressure. So beforehand, I watched a lot of videos and made sure I knew what I was doing. And then, of course, I used a meat thermometer, and my mom thought,
smart.
She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying not to kill everybody or make them pretty sick. Do you feel that pressure when you're cooking for, like, a party?
Yeah, I figure I could just order a pizza.
Let's wrap this up.
You can subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review.
You can check out our home improvement videos on our YouTube channel, Fix It Home Improvement.
And you can subscribe to that as well.
You can download our ebooks, Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, books 1 through 13 on Amazon. And from July 22nd to July 26th, you can download a free copy of Book 14.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating and review.
You can follow Cindy on Twitter, @FixItCohost. You can follow us on Instagram, FixItHomeImprovement. And you can email us at fixitpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you for listening.
Talk to you next week.